Hello and welcome to Necromancy 1, a blexplanation of the return of Jalen Hotdog Fingers and the consequences. The plan. It is Season 6, and the ILB has just been introduced to idols. There is a shiny leaderboard with an ominous red line on it, and fans can pick players to idolize. There is also an inconspicuous blessing snuck in on the election tab titled Lottery Pick. This offers the opportunity to steal the player in 14th position on the idols board. This blessing would not remain inconspicuous, as fans discovered that not only could you idol active players, you could also idol the dead. And so a plan emerged. Fans rallied to get Jalen Hotdog Fingers into 14th, the previous pitcher of the Garages, who was incinerated in the Season 1 election as a result of the Forbidden Book being opened. This would require mass coordination, as Jalen would have to be in 14th position when the election closed in order to be eligible for the blessing. The return. And she was. The Garages reclaimed their star from the void, and Jalen was once again to play Blaseball. But there was a catch. She had two new modifications. Returned, stating that she had returned from the void and so at the end of every season had a chance of being called back to the void, and debt. Jalen had a debt to fulfill. So she sat at 5th in the Garage's rotation, still their star pitcher, but who knew what was to come? As always in Blaseball, there were consequences. As Jalen pitched her first game, those consequences began. Every so often she would hit a player with the ball, causing them to gain the modification unstable. This did not happen every game she pitched, but the majority of them. What did unstable mean? Well, it was a weekly modification, meaning it faded after every 9th game of the season. But beyond that? And then we come to Ruby Tuesday. It is day 32, and the Moist Talkers are playing the Tigers in solar eclipse weather. The Tigers, having faced the Garages on day 30, have 3 unstable players. It was the top of the 3rd and the Tigers were batting when we discovered what unstable meant. A rogue umpire incinerated unstable player Moody Cookbook. But matters got complicated, as Moody's instability was now chained to Moist Talkers player Elijah Bates, who had been hit by a Jalen pitch on day 10, but emerged safe. This was not to last, as at the bottom of the 6th, a rogue umpire incinerated him, the instability now chaining to Tigers player Yasmin Mason. There was barely time to process these events, as at the top of the 7th, McLaughlin Scorpler was also incinerated, and the Moist Talkers' Antonio Wallace became unstable. The game ended, and the commissioner called a siesta. But play resumed with no further information. Day 33 saw the Moist Talkers and the Tigers once again playing in solar eclipse weather. The game opens with tragedy, as at the bottom of the 1st, Kiki Familia is incinerated. They had only joined Blaseball the previous day as a replacement for Elijah Bates, but now they too were gone. But Kiki had not been unstable. This was just an unrelated tragedy. But the Moist Talkers were to face more sorrow, as in the bottom of the 2nd, Antonio Wallace was incinerated, and the instability chained to their player, Mooney Doctor. With 3 unstable players still in the game, it was both a miracle and a relief that this was the last incineration of the day. And all 3 players became stable again on day 36. Losing 5 players in 2 games sent shockwaves through the community, and it is rightly commemorated with respect in the library as item 22 of the discipline era. Across Season 7, Jalen proceeded to hit 34 players whilst pitching. 8 more were incinerated, bringing the total of debt-related incinerations to 12, including Yasmin Mason, who had made it through Ruby Tuesday unscathed. During Season 8, due to an arrangement with the microphone, Jalen's debt became refinanced, meaning that her pitches now caused players to become flickering, and thus more susceptible to feedback. This was greeted with enthusiasm from fans, as far better for a favourite player to be on a different team than incinerated. Jalen hit 33 players during Season 8, resulting in 5 feedback swaps. Then, at the start of Season 9, the debt became consolidated, meaning the effect of being hit by a pitch was to become repeating. 36 players gained this modification. Before Season 10 started, the microphone tweeted, "She can have the shares," and Jalen's debt modification disappeared. She has since continued to play Blaseball just like any other player. Thank you for joining me for another Blaxplanation. I'll be back with more Blaseball fun and facts soon, but until then, rejoice, play ball.